Okay, next question for John Fenoglio. John, let's see, what's a good question here? Okay. Commercial mortgage-backed securities. Does it look like, well, how's that whole business look like, and how's it differ from the last go-around?
Well, it's back, and that's good news. There are currently 19 active programs that have cranked up this year and are coming back with a passion, and we need them because just the maturing debt alone over the next several years is going to demand that we have some viable capital sources out there. CMBS, is a business that right now is highly profitable, and I think that's what is really sparking the rapid return. The business ought to be healthy. What's different about it is that loans are being made on real numbers, not pro forma. Loan to values are right now in check, so we've got good collateral, good underwriting. And so the pools are being put together with, I think, much better discipline. Will that once again, get a little loose? Who knows? Remains to be seen. What's different has been really rules and regulations to protect the bondholders. For example, if you buy the bonds and you're a bondholder, you'll have the right to, if you want to change your special servicer, you've got the right to do that. There are some protections as well on the cash flows. There are mandatory lock boxes, and that's evolving as we speak. Independent directors are being required especially on large loans, so that there is some independence and that some perceived abuses that occurred in the last downturn won't happen again. But the market's coming back fast, and again, this is an industry that provided 2/3 of all fixed-rate loans in 2007, $230 billion worth of capital. It basically went out of business, and we may securitize $7 billion this year. So it's really coming back slowly. I think there are predictions of next year from anywhere from $20 to $40 billion worth of financings if these remain profitable and there's still an appetite. And what's driving this is the quest for yield. There's just such a lack of yield in the marketplace today that these bonds look very attractive at this stage of the game. So we're optimistic. Same cast of characters are playing. They've all just changed chairs basically, and they're cranking up and coming to visit us, buy us dinner, smile, and promise us great service. So we're happy about that.
Okay, cool. Okay, Chip, you sent me the most questions.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I hope I rehearsed the one that I sent you.
I'm going to pick the one you didn't send me.
Great.
No,
All
I'm
right.
just kidding. Okay. What are some of the positive measures that your company took to weather the current downturn?
Well, I think, in any kind of a downturn, we've always been able to pick up market share because of the bandwidth of different services that we provide. But we're not unlike, the good news for everybody that's sitting in this room is that just what John said. I mean, there's people are starved for yield, and so if you are strong at the local market level and you have local market expertise, money is going to get allocated to you because it's going to go from an allocator model to an operator model. People want to align themselves with the strong local market operators, and so the positive things that we did is that again in a downturn we were able to attract some exceptional talent. So we've really kind of bolstered our bench strength, particularly in this market. It's a headquarter city for us. So our root system is really deepest and widest in Houston, and as a private company, we felt like we wanted to get into a position where we could play offense as soon as possible. And You know, and I see it happening. You know, we are. I agree. I mean, this is. You know, I sat through all the sessions today, and this has been, you know, pretty darn good news for Houston, and that's what we feel. We feel like we were, you know, last in. We're going to be first out. There's identifiable job drivers in this market. You can't say that about every market that you go to around the country. What Welcome was talking about the Port of Houston is a tremendous driver for our economy, the Texas Medical Center, obviously the energy industry. You know, we're fortunate that we've got, you know, pretty good market coverage here, and I would tell you all of our transaction pipelines are starting to be, you know, kind of robust like they were before the downturn. So.
Now you have offices in other parts of the country. How did
We do.
what did they do to weather the storm?
Well, you know, we had to make a little bit more. You know, we put an emphasis on the again, in a downturn. You know, some of the services that we provide become less commoditized. So we really focused our efforts on those service lines. Our management business, we picked up, you know, pretty good market share nationally in the management side of our business, because our development business was way down, and our investment sales business went from, you know, not to bore people with numbers, but it, you know, went from, you know, 20% of our top line revenue to almost non-existent. So you've got to kind of, you know, direct your business towards growth areas.
Right. Okay. All right. Welcome. Citywide vacancy under 7%. No construction. Where do the rental rates go these days?
Well, I can speak to the industrial sector specifically.
Right.
As they mentioned in the previous presentation, the economy turned last summer. I didn't get the memo, but I'm sure somebody did somewhere. And so we have a very slow.
It was in the Journal about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, thank you. And so what I predict is right now there's still an overhang of sublease space in the market. Houston is probably one of the best from an occupancy standpoint, at least in industrial. It's probably positioned better than most cities in the United States. So we have a very tight market. There's not a lot of new stuff, you know, under construction. However, there was about 1 million feet of sublease space in the market. That's down to about 750,000. We have to absorb that. So I would predict that rates will pretty much stay flat in 2011. And 2012 is when we should start seeing some growth once some new construction starts back. But I would say our vacancy will tighten. You know, will tighten up in 2011 because we don't have any new stuff, but we have to absorb this sublease market overhang.